Welcome back, everyone,
to the Not So Perfect Podcast. Matt Shin, as always, along with my cohort here,
Gerardo Cornejo.
Carne Asada.
Welcome back to the Not So Perfect Podcast, and we have our first marathon of the season.
First marathon of the season was this past Sunday. Yep. And
Recap.
Precursor. Apologize for the flies. It's been an ongoing issue, but
we had an incident where the garage doors stayed open.
Yep. So, anyways, apologize if we're swatting some flies.
Just don't hit me.
That's right. But yeah, no, did the Mo Cowbell Marathon on Sunday. First marathon I've done in probably 2 years. I took last year off because I was having some nagging injuries that I was getting addressed. And so big turnout. I think they said this is their 15th annual Mo Cowbell, so they've been doing it for a long time. It's got a lot of traction. I was actually going to look that up beforehand, but I did not get a chance to. So looking at previous years, I think marathon runners, they average around 500, maybe more. Half marathoners, there were, I think, at least 2,500 last year. And I'm sure the numbers go up with each smaller race you get to. But anyways, it's a really good race. This year was there were some hurdles that popped up. So that course, I'd only ran the half marathon before. I did that 2 years ago.
Pretty flat, being St. Charles?
Yeah, so pretty flat.
Right along the river?
So the first half is more residential kind of neighborhoods, suburbs type thing. And the first half of that race there's a lot of energy, meaning when you get into these neighborhoods, you've got, entire neighborhoods where everybody's outside.
Tailgating.
Kids have lemonade stands and water stands you name it. The kids are just
cool,
super involved. The parents are, on the porch watching. So it was all it's a very great environment just to run in, just to keep that energy going, because you don't realize how much that helps in the long run, So the first half went great. But starting off, I was kind of head in the clouds as the race was getting ready to start. Thought I was in the right place to start, but turns out I was at the 5K, 10K start line instead of the half marathon, full marathon. So by the time I realized that, I had about a minute and a half to navigate through about 5,000 people to try and get up towards the front, which was more of the pace I was planning on running. Didn't make it that far up, so I spent the first probably 3 or 4 miles literally just trying to zigzag through a lot of slower runners, walkers. So that was the first thing.
We had a sprint warm-up too.
Yeah, well, and again, that's on me. I'm not making excuses. I should have done better, should have been more aware, more planned, more all those things. But just little things you learn along the way. So started off kind of in the back, which was tough just because instead of just running straight, you're kind of zigzagging around people and, groups of people and all that. So we got doing that. And like I said, the first 13 went great. Everything felt pretty good. And then you get to the second half, So basically on the 13.1 mile race, when you finish, you go through the finish line here. The marathoners keep going straight, and then they tie into the Katy Trail. So the second half of the race is more not as residential. So it's basically kind of just Katy Trail. You're off on your own. You and your
brain.
Yeah. And about that time, there's less shade cover. The sun was up.
It was 80 degrees. It was a summer day.
It was 80 degrees. I think 81 at the finish line whenever I crossed, which is problematic for longer runs, longer races. So, mile 14, had my back against the wall. My groin was starting to tighten, and I learned a lot about myself during this race because it taught me a lot about how easy it is to quit when things get tough. Because those are the thoughts that started running through my mind at mile 14, if my groin's already tight at 14, what's it going to be like at 16? What's it going to be like at 20? What's it going to be like at 22? So on and so forth. So gutted it out. It was real easy too, because at the 14-mile marker, all I got to do is step off the course and I could be at my truck in probably 5 minutes. Nobody would know any difference. No one knows I'm up here.
Ooh, you would know you didn't finish. But I would know,
and that would be more painful than prison. You know what I mean? I would be in my own prison for my own head for a long time to come. So very happy that I pushed through it. And then deeper we got into the race, the more things just started failing, So mile 20, 21, my right quad started acting up. And by mile 22, my right quad was completely locked up. So I guess you could call it running, but whatever it was not pretty. But I did get lucky. If you can get lucky on a marathon at mile 22, I guess you could say I did. At that aid station at mile 22, luckily there was a not a personal trainer, but a physical therapist that was at that aid station, and I didn't know he was there, and I was struggling hard. He spotted me because I had to step off the course and stretch my leg out, try and get it moving. He saw me right away, put me on his table. He started massaging my quad out real good. Felt great. And then he did the one thing I was not expecting. He had a bucket of ice that he just poured all over my body, head over top. So that was like, oh my God. Like, it felt like I got shot with
Could you even feel your quads anymore?
It felt like I got hit with a shot of adrenaline. I was like, whew, okay, thank you so much, sir. You have no idea how much you helped me. Hopped off the table and got back on the course.
I thought you were going to say he varsity blues you.
No. Well, it felt like he did. It felt like he did. That was what that ice water did for me. So it rejuvenated me and kind of woke me back up and gave me the juice I needed. But I knew that was just a temporary Band-Aid. My hope was maybe it can get me through 26.2, but it made it to 25. So that's pretty good. Needless to say, the last 1.2 miles were pretty rough. But I did get lucky. So after I got off the table at mile 22 and kept moving, I bumped into a girl that was kind of running about the same pace as me. And I was just like, hey, if you're cool with it, I'm just going to run with you for a while. Like, I'm barely hanging on here. Everything's starting to fail and cramp and this and that. And she's like, okay, me too. Yeah, if we could just run together, that'd be great. Found out this was her first ever marathon that she was doing. She's probably, I don't know if I was going to guess, mid-20s maybe. But yeah, so we ran together for quite a while. And then we got to about mile 25 and a half. And every about fifth step, I had to stop, shake my right quad out, and just keep it going. So she wound up passing me, but she finished ahead of me. Super proud of that girl.
Nice.
For first time, and just those conditions were not ideal for a first marathon. So didn't catch your name, but congrats to you if you ran next to me the last probably 4 miles of the race. But
that runner community too is, if you haven't tried a 5K, 10K, half, full.
Yeah.
My wife's took us to those events, and it's a pretty awesome community because everybody knows how hard it is.
Yeah, and if you don't, you should try it. But yeah, so second half of that race, not a lot of shade cover. You're running on a lot of asphalt, a lot of Katy Trail chat. We had to run across the St. Charles Bridge there, going towards like the Ameristar and all that. So yeah, no shade, direct sunlight bouncing off the asphalt, and just it was brutal. But we'll say the energy that came from the first 13.1 miles with all the spectators and everything, hard cliff drop off on the second half, which, don't get me wrong, it's very appreciated for the first 13, but that second 13, we could have used a lot more cheerleaders along the course and just probably aid stations and stuff like that. But hey, every race you do, nothing's going to be perfect, and there's always going to be something that goes sideways. It's, and in the race, when you're, analyzing what's happening in real time, you got tough decisions to make. Are you going to give up and quit, or are you going to keep pushing? And that's the thought I had kicking around my head a lot. But basically, once I kept going at mile 14, from that point on, it's like, well, I could stop. I could quit, but guess what?
Out.
All I'm going to have to do is walk the entire distance that I still have to run back. I would have still had to do that even if I quit. It's not like there's a shuttle service that comes and picks me up wherever I'm at and takes me to the finish line or whatever. Like, no. So that was kind of my internal motivator at the time, was like, look, if you want to stop and quit, like, you can. Like, it's going to be fine one way or the other, but you're still going to have to walk another.
And this says, like, it will never be fine if I quit.
Yeah, so, yeah, like I said, I was pretty upset with myself just knowing, as soon as that second half part took place, that wasn't going to meet my goal that I was looking for, wasn't going to hit the time I was wanting, and from that point I was running pretty angry at myself instead of just giving myself some grace, especially since it's been 2 years. You forget just how you remember the good times about the marathons, but not until you get in there and you get in the weeds, you realize and remember, like, oh yeah, like, that's why these are so hard. So had little flashbacks and memories of that. So
we'll get you prepared for the next one.
This week
I'm just shook that one off.
This week I'm just trying to get my mind in the idea of giving myself a little grace with being a couple of years since I've done my last one, being injured and all that stuff. So that being said, I do have another one November 2nd. So training run 1 marathon done. Hopefully that'll lead me to a better performance in November. So.
What is Mo Cowbell for? What is that one?
So that one, that's a good question. I'm not even sure what it's exactly for. I'd have to look.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I did see a couple people participating in it.
Yeah.
There's a couple of Jeff City.
Yeah, I passed a girl that was doing her first marathon, Kayla. Shout out Kayla Pelser. And she did it, and I passed her a couple times, like in the turnarounds.
Yeah.
You get to 21 and you turn around and go back. I bumped into her there. Bumped into her a couple different times throughout the course. So, and of course, with all those people, you're like, I'm running in the in the first part of the half, probably like mile 6 or 7, maybe 8, and I'm running. All of a sudden, here, hey you, look over, and there's Kayla. I'm like, hey, what's up? She's like, how are you doing? So, anyways, it was cool getting to see her. But yeah, just all the people that are there, like, hey Kayla, how's it going? So.
Make me want to do a marathon, man.
Oh, I don't think that would make it too far past this podcast. You'd be like, you know what? You need volunteers.
It's the training that's the hard part.
Yeah, it's not the race day. It's all the miles you got to do leading up to it. So, So this week I'm just trying to give myself some grace. Disappointed I didn't get the time I wanted to, but got a chance to do it again.
Glad you made it out alive.
Yeah.
And then
like to add insult to injury, so like you get done, okay? So by this point, if you've run 26 miles, you have dried salt. Every crack, every crevice, every part of your body, there is dried salt. So after that race is done, and you're barely standing, then to get to your vehicles, it's like a straight, because everything's down in like the valley. Yeah. So then you just see this line of lemmings of people that ran the marathon that are trying to walk up this huge hill to get to like the flat part where most of the street parking and stuff is. And there was just a line of lemmings just Frankenstein walking.
like zombies.
And then like you see some like fall off and have to like reach across the building and just lean against it and like, okay, we're halfway up. Okay, that's halfway. Okay.
Why did I sign up?
So then you get up to the top, and then it's like, okay, I'm at the flats. It's like, now where did I park? Left, right, further down? Like, I don't know. But anyways, found my car, got in the truck, and then you drive 2 hours back. Got to Jeff City, then I had an even harder decision to make because all I wanted to do was shower. I was gross, sticky, itchy, you name it. And dog was still out at the farm in California. So instead of going home and showering and then going to get the dog, I went straight out and got the dog, which I'm glad I did because I don't know if I would have been able to make it out afterwards. But anyways, got the dog picked up. He was super excited I was back. He was ready to go home, so he got home and he was snoring, so he wore his butt out while he was staying with my mom and dad. I got home, got showered, just took the rest of the day and just relaxed. Took Monday off, which I don't do a lot, but I did.
Congratulations. Yeah, everybody in the building was like, where's Matt? Is Matt okay?
I saw Heather yesterday. She's like, hey, I was wondering what's up? We didn't see you Monday. I was like, I took Monday off. Like, you did? I was like, I don't take a lot of them, but I will if I need to. So much needed R&R on Monday. But that was the marathon.
It's a cute big lesson. If you fall down, get back up.
Just don't stop. Just keep moving.
You guys saw the Jaguars-Chiefs game.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence, you fall down.
Yeah.
Get up. Do not
fall
quit.
Down twice. Get up the third time. You know what I mean?
Just to beat the almost 3-time world champs.
Yeah.
But I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and it was Robert Kiyosaki in it. He wrote the books Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Okay.
So I thought it was just going to be all financial. Man, did I learn something incredible about him. So he mentioned that the Marines back in Vietnam, military school compared to regular school. Because they're comparing finances prepare you. Well, how regular school never prepares you for finances and business world. Military school prepares you to fail. So he was a pilot in Vietnam, helicopter pilot, and he said they would always practice. Something's guaranteed to go wrong in war, in battle.
Yeah.
So they would always practice for failure, for what goes wrong. So he said, Out of all the missions he went on when they were in war in Vietnam, guess how many people came back? Those 16 people came back. Guess how many people left with him?
30.
16. He brought everybody back on every mission because
impressive.
they practiced so hard on failure. And then a crazy thing that when the helicopter's engines shut down, pilots panic, pull back. So now everybody's just like bouncing around. When what he learned was once the engines fail, pull forward. So as soon as we're staring at death, everybody's able to jump out and go that way, go that way, go that way. We're landing in the water. We're not just panicking and not able to get out, spinning down. So it was going through that. But the lesson again, like, I don't care how much you train for this marathon, something's going to go wrong. Something's going to happen.
Well, and that's not just with, military especially, but like you just describing that, it just brought one word to my mind.
Life.
Resiliency.
Resilience.
Because they want you to fail, because whenever shit gets weird, shit gets wild, whether you're in military conflict or in a war zone or running a marathon or setting up a 5K, 10K half marathon. All those things, there's never been a moment where everything went according to plan. There's always a last minute this, a last minute that. We don't have power to this because it's Saturday and we don't know who to call on a Saturday morning. What do we got to do? So what I've learned from that, and just in my journey the last 6 years of getting sober and trying to do all these challenging things, not just for others, but for myself, failure is part of the equation, So for those, I think a lot of people go through life not expecting failure.
They haven't been told this either.
So when they do fail, it's the whole world collapses in on them because they have never dealt with it. They don't know how to handle it. They don't have the tools to dust yourself off, get back up, and guess what? If somebody saw you fall, okay, so what? Like, it doesn't matter what anybody else is thinking about your journey. Your journey is your journey. You have your own reasons and motivations and drive to do these things. But a lot of people just they're never been prepared to fail. With me, like with wrestling, it's a one-on-one sport. So it's not like you can point to your teammate over here, your coach over here for, so-and-so didn't block, so-and-so didn't make the catch, so wrestling taught me that at a young age, because my first year I didn't win a match, So you talk about resiliency, like you got to have that.
Did someone tell you, hey, if you do this, you're going to win every match?
Yeah, well, no, they never told you that, because I wasn't even practicing my first year. So I was just going out there like, got this cool outfit. I shook this guy's hand, and
bam!
Now I'm getting slammed on my head and I'm getting pinned. So yeah, it takes a lot of resilience to come back and keep trying to get better. But any high achiever you talk to, or you admire, or you follow on social media, or you read about, or listen to, talk on
that is
podcasts,
at least real,
they're all going to tell you that failure is a part of every part of their journey. And that's okay. It's okay to fail. It's okay to But the things about failure you got to learn is, all right, we want to make this happen less. So what do we got to do to make that happen? What went right? What went wrong? Where can we make improvements? Where can we make, where can we do better in certain areas of that journey? So for me, it's that resilience. And that's how you gain it. That's how you grow your resilience, by failure, getting back up. The first time you fall, it's not going to be as bad the second time because you're prepared for it. It's not going to be as bad as the third time because you've had it happen twice before. And you just get stronger and better at it each time you're persevering through these tough times.
Yeah, because how many times does Trevor Lawrence practice a 2-yard play, 3-yard play to just step back and throw to the open person?
Yeah,
But no, you get stepped on, roll down, roll over.
A lineman steps on your foot when you're snapping the ball, then you fall because you got a 300-pound lineman on your right foot. That makes it challenging. Then you're trying to get back up again.
4 other 400-pound linemen trying to kill you.
And how many other people would have just been like, well, I fell, game over.
He said it. He's like, I was just going to throw it out of bounds.
Yeah, game over.
But he's like, nobody was there. So resilience, let's go.
Yeah. So,
but you see Mahomes do it all the time. You see it was just pretty cool to watch. Unfortunately, somebody had to lose.
It was the wrong side that we wanted to have that happen to. But Kansas City's had we've had some pretty good years the last few. So, we're not.
Shout out to Trevor Lawrence.
We're not going to win them all.
Still going, yeah.
And guess what? I guarantee you, the Chiefs, if they would have won that game, I guarantee you they're going to learn a lot more from this loss than they will from that win. You know, I bet Chris
Yeah.
Jones on that last play will not take that
Another
play
down
off again. You know what I mean? Like everybody saw him on that last play. Just, I thought he was. Is he not dead? I thought he was dead. We're not.
I know he's there. He goes.
You know
He's
what I
in the
mean?
touchdown.
So,
He's
but
in
yeah,
the
I
end
mean,
zone.
not to stay on like NFL, but like, look what happened the last 2 weeks in a row. There was a running back that broke free on this beautiful long run, and they get to the end zone, and they flip the ball before they cross the goal line. And then it happened again this past weekend to the Arizona Cardinals. And it's like, what are you guys like? You did the hard part, you guys are killing it, but the easy stuff, you're just fumbling and dropping the, I don't know.
And then
it's
the
just
fumble
crazy.
that was a fumble that ended up being a touchdown for
For the
same
Tennessee
team.
Titans, yeah, it's like, you know, guys, you
Don't
never,
give up.
Yeah, you
Don't
never
give
know
up.
until the play's over. You never know till, you know, not always doing, you know, NFL terminology here, but that's a great comparison to life. You know, you're gonna fall down. Things aren't gonna go great, you know, but the more you can go through those and come through on the other side, you're gonna be better. You're gonna be stronger. You're gonna be faster. You're gonna be smarter, you know, on what to look forward next.
Yeah, perseverance. It's a huge, even in business and life and parenting,
Yeah.
relationships.
Well, and I think that's
whatever
one thing.
Yeah, we've all failed in a relationship.
I think that's one thing is like, as parents and, you know, being kids, like, that's one thing that we can introduce them to at an earlier age, you know. Learn about what is resilience, you know, not even just saying the word, because I couldn't, you know, how many times as a kid we were like, Mom, what's that word mean? What's that word mean? Instead of just doing a full explanation on what this is, what it means, why it's important, when you're going to use this in your life, you know, and not saying the first time you tell them it's going to be stuck in here
Yeah.
forever and they're going to apply it to everything, but if you have that talk with your kids after every tough football loss or after every soccer loss or baseball, or they don't get a good grade on their spelling test or something like that, there's an example for that in all the things that we do.
So trying to explain it to them with my son, I'm learned this lesson this year. I'm like, so are you gonna quit? So are you gonna quit? All right, you dropped the pass. So are you gonna quit? Like, just don't quit. Get back out. So at least those are the two words that stick with him. And he did great. He made some mistakes and then he went back out there and fixed them.
Yeah.
And then even teaching my daughter, or Irie, the older one, soccer. Like, all right, we're driving 2 hours to Kirksville, and now your stomach hurts.
Those are nerves, girly.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, oh, we're gonna lose anyways. It's like, what? Like, nobody wants you as a teammate. I wouldn't want you as a teammate saying that. You know,
Yeah.
you go out, if you're gonna say that, go out and tell the whole team that.
Yeah.
You know, see how
Let
they
them know
react.
the attitude you're going to take into this
Yeah.
game, into these 2 games that we got this week.
Yeah, that's something. Again, with my kids, man, it's teaching them to not quit and resilience.
Yeah.
And at least that's the simple way I can explain it to a 10-year-old.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter if I'm running a marathon, a half marathon, if I, you know, back in my MMA and cage fighting days, like, you want to talk about anxiety, like, have that steel cage shut behind you and you hear that thing clink shut. It's real. It's happening. Like, there's no way out at this point. So, you know, I mean, the first time I got in there, it was like, oh, you know, it's fight or flight, you know, and thank God I didn't freeze. But boy, you know, that first fight I had, scared to death. Second fight, still scared to death, but not as bad as the first time. Third time, not as bad as the second time. So on and so forth. But by the end of it, you know, those jitters, I mean, you still get them, because I feel like that is your fight or flight, just kind of reminding you that it's still there. But it got less and less over time. And it's good to have that feeling in your stomach, because it's your brain telling you, hey, we're about ready to do some wild shit. Like, be ready.
Here we
Like,
go.
'cause anything can happen, you know. And when the consequences are higher, you're going to have more of that anxiety, you know, when there's a greater chance of being hurt, injured, you know. Those stakes get higher, you know, and your body knows that, you know, so it's not like you can trick it, being like,
It's your
no,
body
no,
letting you know we're
we're
live.
just going to go jump some rope here. No,
We're
you're getting in
alive.
a steel cage, getting ready to fight another dude that's looking to beat you up. Like, that's what that is.
Who trained harder?
Yeah, you know, so those are kind of some of the tools I use nowadays is, you know, I use it a lot, and not as much today, just in terms of, you know, competing against somebody else or anything like that. When you're running, it doesn't matter who you're running with, who you're running against. Like, I could be trying to keep the same pace as this person here the whole time, and I'm killing myself to keep up with them. And then they get to the half marathon point and they go to the finish line where I'm like, oh boy, I thought that guy was running the full. Like, So now I probably just overexpended myself trying to keep up with this guy who I thought was running the full marathon. Turns out he's only doing 13. Like, you still got another 13 to go. You know what I mean? So when it comes to running specifically, like, it's you against you. Like, do not worry about anybody else that's out there, because it's all going to come down to what you can do, you know? And yeah, I've made that mistake before where I'm like, oh, I'm going to keep up with this guy the whole time, you know? And it's like, oh boy, he only did the 10K and I've still got 8 more miles to go. Like, there's just times where that comes up. And so what I use is I just, you know, always compare it to, like, what's the other guy doing?
Yeah.
What's the other guy? On the days I don't want to run, which I had last week, I was protesting on maybe Tuesday or Thursday in the office.
We didn't let him.
I didn't want to run, but guess what? We did it. We got it done. Linda made me a sweet sign to motivate me, so all was good. And I took my protest papers off the table by the time I was done. But yeah, there's just days where you just don't feel like doing it, you know. And I'm no different than anybody else.
I mean, look at these flies. Be a fly.
Be a fly. Be
They're getting swatted and they're still going.
Be resilient. Be a resilient fly.
They don't care.
Yeah. So.
And in business too, like sales. Mm-hmm. Hey man, I'm not selling any homes. Like, what am I gonna do? It's like, well, what have you been doing?
Yeah. What are you doing currently?
What is the other guy doing? That other guy made 10 more phone calls than you did. That's why he's more successful. That other guy showed up 2 hours, maybe 5 hours before you showed up to work.
Yeah.
That's they'll probably beat you.
Yeah, and that's
where comparison is good.
Yeah.
Not just compare to what do they have that I don't have. It's just like, what are they doing?
What are the intangibles that they have that they do on a daily basis that I don't?
Yeah.
Do they get up at 4 a.m. and do a full hour workout, full stretch, full meditation, gratitude list, you know, whatever it is that they do in the morning? Are you doing all those things? Maybe that's what you're missing, you know? So I think a lot of people, when it comes to that, it's one of those things where you just want to keep pushing forward. And if you're not doing the things that the people that you're looking up to that are successful doing, I look for those intangible things. Not the car they drive, not how big their house is, but like, what are the things, like, because if they have a $10 million house, I can't afford that today and probably never. So, all right, that's off the table. But what are they doing that I can do? You know, maybe that's, you know, spending an extra when the kids go to bed. They're on their laptop for another hour getting things lined up for the next morning. So you're not scrambling in the morning to, all right, what do I got going today? You already know what's going on. You know what I mean? So there's always ways you can kind of work on making the intangibles that you currently have and add to them. You know, because there's always more we can do internally or from that standpoint.
And you're alive. You get the opportunity to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I did get some bad news on the way up to St. Louis. I went up there Saturday night after my nephew's birthday. Shout out Grayson. Happy birthday, buddy. Big 12-year-old. I did get a call from a good buddy of mine, and there's a gentleman that was in the treatment court program that they found him dead last week. So someone that's really struggled. You know, he's been in the DWI court program for a while, and he's just not had continued success, and it was just, you could see the struggle on his face every day you saw him, you know, and so that was something I've been doing some internal reflection on. I've talked to his brother, who's one of my best friends growing up, and, you know, I just told him if there's not a lot you can say in those situations, you know.
No.
So I just told him, you guys are on my thoughts and prayers. If you guys need anything, talk, chat, text, I'm here if you need it, you know. Because it just, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, just being in that position that I've been in and what I've came from basically the last 6 years, like there were moments where I thought that could have been me, you know, and
should have been you.
A numerous amount of times.
Yeah.
A numerous amount of times. And, you know, so it's one of those things where it's a good reminder for me of why I need to keep doing what I'm doing. You know, I don't ever want to go backwards, especially with alcohol and just the disease that it is. You know, but it's just a reminder that every day I think I've got it all figured out is the day that I'm going to take a step back, you know. So it seems like anytime I feel like I've got it figured out, God intervenes in a way where it's just like, whack, okay.
Not in the back, not in the chest,
that's what I get for thinking that I know it all.
Yeah, in the face.
I've got God all figured out, you know, but again, it's just one of those things that, you know, I don't ever want to forget where I came from, and not saying that stories like that are encouraging because they're not sad. A family lost a son, lost a brother.
Kids lost a parent.
Yeah,
father.
he was a dad as well. So it's just a good reminder of why we do what we do every day. Those people that are in recovery, and that's why when we go to meetings and you hear a first timer, first meeting they've been into, and they want to change their life, it just reminds all of us of take the time dial back and go back to when your first point or your first meeting was and what that was like. Because it just kind of shows you, A, where we came from, but it also shows you the progress you've made in that time until now, which I don't give myself a lot of credit for a lot. I'm just hard on myself internally. But the thing about that is that it does give you that grace period of just, okay, we've made a lot of progress. You've made a lot of good moves in the last 6 years. So just trying to keep doing that. But it's just, and again, it's another reminder that the number of people that go into AA looking to get sober and looking to get better, we're in the minority of people that actually make it through. So a lot of people see people that are living in sobriety or living in recovery these days. We're the very small percentage of people that actually commit to it and follow through and actually make it to the other side. So something to keep in mind. This is a numbers game, and I hate to look at alcoholism and just that disease as a numbers game, but it is. And I've talked about it before, where whenever I was up at Boonville for at rehab. They introduce you all at the beginning, and then, your first large group meeting that you have, they point out in the conference room, like, look at all these coffee cups that are around the room that have a black ribbon around them. And those are all the people that have been to rehab, that have made it out. And when you get it out and you make it a year, they give you a coffee cup. And every year you go back on your renewal day, you get another coffee cup. So 6 years sober, you get 6 coffee cups. But basically, the black cup or the cups with the black ribbon around them are the people that have been into rehab, that have made it a year, that at some point after that they've gone back out and they're now dead. And that room was, there wasn't an open spot on the mantle, So for me, that was good because it reminded me, so odds are I'm not going to make it. But that internally motivated me because I wanted to prove people wrong that I could do it, and not just people, but I guess deep down myself as well, although I didn't look at it like that at the beginning. But mine was more like, you gonna quit? You gonna quit? Hey, it's tough right now, you gonna quit? So what you said to Jacob, like, that resonates with me because that's what I told myself a lot of days in a row. That I didn't want to do the hard work or do the internal reflection and see what.
Every time the alarm goes off, are you gonna quit?
Yeah, it's easy. It's something as simple as that.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar with alcohol or alcoholism or just that disease, look at it as something as simple as hitting the snooze button in the morning, So it's all in perspective. It's just how you look at it.
Well, rest in peace to that man and blessings to that family.
Yes.
Whew, unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate.
Yeah. But good news is we'll end on a high note here. We don't want to end on a
Yeah.
I did sell my truck over the week last night.
Cool story.
Great
cool story time.
Yeah. So if you guys, if you want to end on a high note, we'll end it on this one here. I've been selling my truck since I bought my new one, and very reliable truck. It's not the sexiest thing. It's a 2008, so it's an older model, but I took care of it like it was a brand new Porsche. You know what I mean?
Shoot, I wanted to buy it.
But the thing about it was, that was my first big purchase that I made getting sober, so I didn't have a pot to piss in whenever I got sober because I was in a lot of financial issues just with getting arrested and lawyers and vehicles getting totaled and just all that accumulates with that side of my street that was super toxic. But so my goal was to, I was really hoping to sell this to like a first-time driver, a 16-year-old kid or something like that because it's a great truck. It's a 2008, so if you ding something or bump into something, somebody hits you, it's not the end of the world. So I wound up getting it sold to a gentleman that showed up to my house last night to test drive it. And turns out, I didn't know this going into it, nor did this guy. Turns out he just graduated from the DWI Corps program that I spoke at 2 weeks ago. I opened the door and I see him and I'm like, man, why does this guy look familiar? And I'm like, hey, how you doing? I was like, my name is Matt. And he's like, yeah, you spoke at Treatment Corps graduation a couple weeks ago. Man, I loved what you said. It resonated so well with me and this and that. And So again, he was blown away. He was freaked out a little bit. I was a little freaked out that just by some slim chance of whatever you want to call it, fate, that I was able to sell this truck to somebody that's honestly like in the exact same spot I was when I bought that truck. He's now where I was, so I'm just happy that it's going to somebody that's that can appreciate the journey that truck and that I've been on and all that stuff. So hopefully it treats him well.
Congratulations to both of you.
Yeah, congratulations to Zach. Congratulations to me. So over the weekend, I accomplished 2 big check marks on my to-do list. Marathon complete.
Selling the
sold.
truck.
Yep. So shaping up to be a great
3.
week.
You took Monday off.
Oh, I did take a day off.
We'll count that as
I
a
took
huge
Monday
win
off.
for
That's
Matt.
right. Yeah. See, I had that in the other category. I had
That was bad that you took a day off?
Category.
No.
No, but no. So it's been a great start to the week. Did something super challenging. Wanted to quit a whole bunch of times. Didn't, push through, persevered, and got it through on the other side. And when you start a marathon, the main overall goal is to finish it.
Can you share your time you finished on?
Yeah, so I finished in 4 hours and 6 minutes. My goal was...
You were hurting.
I was hurting badly, yeah. So the goal was 3:30, 3 hours, 30 minutes. That would have been a new PR for me, but hopefully we'll see that time closer to come November 2nd down at Bass Pro in Springfield.
I'm pretty sure there's people along that entire 20 miles,
I don't
26.
know. Never ran this one
It
before.
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It's what's in here.
Oh, and
anyways.
And to add insult to injury, my headphones died at mile 22 and a half. So granted, it's like, well, that's not too long, right? It's like, well, when you're moving at a snail's pace, it seems like eternity.
Oh, man.
So, I have to charge those.
Should you train without any headphones now?
Well, and to be fair, like I wasn't really listening. So whenever I run, I'm usually listening to music.
Your brain is way louder at that point.
But for whatever reason, whenever it comes to race day, like I don't listen to really my music or my podcasts. I just kind of listen to. I don't listen to music as much. I listened to like 2.5 of Cam Haynes' just podcasts that he had.
While you were running?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, because just listen to him talk, get you motivated.
I think I'd listen to jazz music if I was Miles Davis or something.
Yeah, so anyways, it's just kind of that background noise just to keep my brain a little bit quieter. But so at 22 and a half, that thing, they both go bloop, bloop. And it was like, oh, okay, well, why not? Why not? So, but anyways, you learn a lot in those races. I learned a lot about myself and just about persevering and not quitting.
Persevere, resilience.
Yeah.
Don't quit.
Don't quit.
And there's a lot of noise going on out there.
Yeah, quiet the noise. Quiet the noise.
Keep your loved ones close. Pick the right communities to be in.
Yeah, life is short, so enjoy it. If you got goals you want to do, don't wait till tomorrow. Start them today.
Keep moving ahead. Well, we'll see you guys soon. And your marathon's not this week, next week.
November 2nd.
November. Oh, you got a while.
Yeah,
okay.
So we got about 3 weeks.
Okay.
3.5 weeks.
Cool. We'll wrap it up.
Okay. Great
Thank you guys for listening, and stay away from the noise. Don't quit.
That's right. Love you guys.
Peace.